You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Rizzoli Isles After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Rizzoli Isles After Show.
We're on. Bing is for doing, and we are doing what we're not supposed to and talking before you guys can all see any of us. What's up, guys? We are doing Rizzoli Isles, Season 3, Episode 12. Sorry, I'm trying to read the board at the same time, and it's not working. The multitasking tonight's been a little rough, but we're here. We made it. We watched the episode, and now we're bringing it to you guys. Let's introduce the co-hosts.
I'm Roqui, Theus.
And I'm Jenifer Golden.
And we're happy to have you guys.
Thanks.
Because there's 2 of us on this side.
You and your personalities are happy to have us here.
Me and my personalities are very happy to have them here.
In the beautiful studio.
I know. I got to be in Studio 8 tonight, which we're a little excited. And I keep moving my chair, so I'm going to stop.
Say that. I was like, where are you going?
Because for those of you who don't know, Marissa is in the booth tonight. Hi, Marissa.
Hey.
She gets really mad at me when I start swiveling my chair, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to sit on my hands so I don't swivel my chair.
Sure. That's a good idea.
It's a good
All
plan.
right. So the episode tonight was called Love the Way You Lie.
Sounds like a song.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was going to be about music because that is a line from a song.
Isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it was not anything to do with music.
No, not at all. The crime this week. Now, last week, the 2 crimes were also connected. So this week, I didn't think that they would be at
No,
first.
especially since one was 2 years ago, and then the ones that we just found out. Well, then we only found out about one, and then we found out about another one, and all 3 were connected.
It was funny because the first thing Roqui said was, "Why does this look like so long ago? What is he wearing?"
Exactly.
It was the first thing you noticed.
Got to be old-fashioned something, but it was.
Yeah.
Steampunk.
I've never heard of that before.
Ever.
I have, and I always forget what the word is for it. I'm like, typewriters, tractors. It's like, it's steam engines, things like that. It's all steam-powered things, but it's the modern-day version. It's people that are like living in the olden times. I mean, they might have a horse and buggy too. I don't really know, but it's literally recreating all that stuff, but for now. There's a whole like subpopulation of people that live like that.
Well,
But they're not Amish, are they?
No.
No, and it's clearly a culture. I mean, he dressed the way his office looked that way. I mean, the typewriter that he used was old, and I don't know if all the viewers knew this, and I was telling the girls, because my mom used to have a typewriter like that. And so I remember pulling out the ribbon just to see all the letters, because they are all together and they don't make sense. So I would just pull them out as a kid, and just, the ink is still wet, so you can put it on anything. But I remember just looking at all the letters. So when they said that tonight, and Mama Rizzoli pointed it out to Corsac about the typewriter, it was just an interesting little fact for me that I was excited about.
Yeah,
So
and they mentioned
that you knew that.
And they mentioned it was the Victorian era, so it was really beautiful.
It was really
setting,
pretty.
His office, his garb, the machines he was using, but
his clothes. And of course, I mean, you think it's going to be a suicide because obviously he's hanging there, and the girls quickly find out that it's not.
No.
And when they found
really strange evidence.
Really strange evidence.
Yeah.
Like stuff that you really had to look into. Like if any detective walked in, they may not have noticed the wood grain pulling a certain way, or you know what I mean? And
what did they figure out? What was the sticky solution?
yes, the sticky solution was sap
Sap from a tree.
from the tree. It was
Who brings tree sap with them?
Well,
the climbers.
That's how they found out who the killer was. Remember?
Right, but I just
did you sleep through the last 5 minutes of the episode?
I might have. I think I don't know what happened, but the sap part to me, I still didn't really understand. I understood the like hook that went into the wall.
Well, I think so. I've never made a complaint about Rizzoli Isles, but I'm going to make one tonight. Because I feel like, and I said it to you guys, it was very anticlimactic. So it built up and gave us this great story and these great murders and this great scene, and then the end was kind of like so rushed and put together that I feel like if you weren't really paying attention or you got up to get a soda from your kitchen, you missed the entire ending, which I feel like was kind of important. Because
I feel like that happened in that episode where the wife was murdered at the wedding.
Yes.
And all of a sudden at the end, they figured it all out, and it was like, wait, what?
What happened?
Yeah.
It's almost like you wanted to rewind it and see what happened.
And
What
we
do you
did.
expect? How do you expect them to, I guess, prolong the
Maybe
situation?
economize their 1 hour.
Okay.
Well, I think
don't know.
giving less. I mean, I understand the backstory. So first we have this writer who's writing this book about suicides, and he then. I can't do that because our listeners can't see. I'm making the quote signs for our viewers, but our listeners can't see. He wrote about suicide, and then obviously he supposedly dies of a suicide, which seems like it would make complete sense. But obviously there's more to it. And you know, before they even get to the first murder, the son and the father come in because of a case that was 2 years ago and give them a $25,000 check, which we all knew was fishy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I knew it.
You knew something was up, right?
Yes.
And so we find out the second girl, she's killed, and it was possibly her boyfriend, and it goes on and on and on. And so I feel like maybe giving us a little less of the story, like they've always been really good at painting a picture for us in a short amount of time. But I feel like this picture was almost overpainted. I like the information, but I'd like a little bit more on the tail end so that it doesn't get lost. The details don't
We
get
could have
lost.
done without the doctor story and more of the end. You know, connect the 2 murders, skip the third, and
Right.
The doctor's story was drowned a little. I didn't really
like I get
catch that.
why. I don't really get why they included it. It's a little superfluous at this point because we are.
That's a like $5 word.
Thank you. Thank you.
$5 word, Jen. I like that. I make up words all the time. So when people use real big words, I get excited. But go ahead.
You said anticlimactic.
I did. That was a good one.
That's a good
That
word.
was
I try.
a really good
Points
one.
for both of you.
Thank you. But I also do think they could have done without that because it really just took up space. And the episode was so interesting and so full as it was that one little bit could have given us more of, you know, the ending and like an explanation.
Right.
I
there
would have liked to have seen Quentin go home or something.
Yeah.
That
or,
would have been great.
or explain a little bit more on the tree sap and the particle that's in the tree sap that only comes from a certain mountain, because I feel like
It was like so fast.
Maura spoke it so fast, and then all of a sudden they were arresting the boys.
And that reaction from them, by the way, was the most bizarre.
Yeah, not great acting.
No, and that was so fast. And then the weird extras doing their thing, like, why aren't we rock climbing
going
anymore?
on?
Right.
You know? And so then they just get like carried away and goodbye.
And we were already invested in the story of there's this guy who's going to jail for something he didn't do. So we're already invested in him. So at that point, I would have liked to also have seen him come home.
Yeah, I wanted like more of the heart of the people they were talking about, not just them, which we saw the whole episode, which I love the ending. Don't get me wrong, like the cheering and talking about the good guys prevailing, and that's wonderful, and it should be that way.
Right.
Yes, he said the greatest feeling in the world is not getting the bad guy, but the greatest feeling in the world is freeing an innocent man.
Right. Which
I really like that.
we know it happens. We've seen it happen. We've
Yeah.
seen people come out of jail 25
goodness.
years later, you know, so
Yes.
people are wrongly committed. And I think that
Especially people of color. Especially. It's been a huge problem.
Well, so
Yeah.
then this episode was a testament to that.
Yeah.
Like we always say, they cover current events, and this is pretty relevant.
yeah, they do, and they're always great about it. And like I said, the storyline was great. The crime was great. Bringing in the second girl, and none of us knowing that it was tied together.
I mean, how weird though with the steampunk and then the brother and then the sister and then this one and then that. There were so many layers in this.
So many elements.
There were a lot of layers because the first guy, and actually when I thought it was going to go back to the brother of Sadie because when they went to the construction site, he's a crane operator. He works at construction sites.
True.
So my head completely went to, okay, it was the brother.
I had already forgotten about him.
Yeah, me too. You just
He could have
reminded
probably been cut too.
Right.
He could have been cut, and then we wouldn't have had that whole monologue, which was a greatly acted monologue. But we could have skipped
Exactly.
it.
He was a good actor.
Or any of the
I believed
steampunk
him.
thing. Great. They were in a chat room together talking, and they have this pact.
Well, they needed the steampunk for the
Typewriter.
typewriter,
I
right?
mean, many
'Cause-
writers still type on typewriters. He could have just been like a purist of some kind.
True.
Good point.
I didn't realize that many people still use typewriters because I feel like, especially when you're writing a book, you want more than one copy. You know,
I feel like
It's
Dan
like
on
using
Gossip Girl
vinyls.
does. Oh, that's true too.
It's like using vinyls. People who are obsessed with music, who are very interested in the purified music.
True. Urban Outfitters actually sells vinyl versions of like current music, like Imagine
Right.
Dragons and stuff like that. You can get on actual vinyls at Urban Outfitters.
Riri on vinyl.
Yep, true.
you can buy a lot of things for the holidays.
You can.
Oh,
Actually, on Amazon, you can buy many things for the holidays, and you can get to Amazon when you're done listening to us or watching us by clicking on the banner at the top of AFTERBUZZTV.com, and then it'll just direct you right to Amazon, and you just shop away. You know, maybe buy some things you saw in Rizzoli Isles because they have great fashion or steampunk items.
Listen, I've been on Amazon.com all week looking for a doggy cam because I'm a crazy pet mom. But I have been. And I have to tell you, like, their shipping rates are really low. Like, I'm not even being cheesy. Their shipping rates are really
You can
low. And
click
they have
on
everything.
Free Super Saver shipping, and it just sorts by that. So all the things you can get for free are just sorted that way. But if you do shop, it helps us out. It keeps the lights on.
Yeah.
It's like you're buying us a Christmas gift, but really all you're doing is buying something else for someone else.
But you can buy us Christmas gifts.
We don't mind.
No.
Yes.
I'm sure there's a P.O. box somewhere on our website.
I wouldn't really turn down a gift.
No.
Don't send anything like weird or creepy.
No.
But
As long as you go to AfterBuzzTV.com first and then click on the Amazon banner, then we'll take the gift.
yes, and for all you super fans, they have the new Rizzoli Isles books and season 1 and 2 box sets available at Amazon.com. So
See?
thank you. Yes.
See? We need those. I think that it's been one of my favorite times throughout the season was Tonight with Frost.
Oh my gosh, yes.
he was just charming and warm and fuzzy. I don't know what was going on, but
And
this episode was
genuine.
great. Yeah. I was rooting for him the whole time.
Well, I feel like we see him always being the sidekick to Jane or to Corsac, and we see him always kind of just following everyone else's lead. And other than the storyline of the detective who got the job over Frankie, that they were both dating, we haven't really seen anything that was completely Frost. And tonight, I feel like he was given a great storyline, and it showed. We see so much of all the other characters. It was great to see another side of him and his layers.
It was also really interesting to see them so invested in a case and talking more about the morality of what they do and how they wanted to dig a little deeper and, you know, look for the truth. And Maura was pushing him to do it, and Jane was pushing him to look into it. And they were all like, well, it's not your case, but you still can do it.
Yeah, everyone showed a certain passion for this case and the truth, and I really appreciated that. It was very...
And it was the first time that we've seen him go with feeling as opposed to go with work and protocol and the way things go. And to see him kind of have that inner battle throughout the episode was great because we don't ever get to see that from him. And as an actor, we don't get to see him kind of flourish. We get to see Frost and his lines. And
Yeah, he doesn't emote until tonight.
No, and tonight there was so much emotion behind everything he did.
passion.
Yeah.
It felt almost like a coming of age for him because he was asking Jane for so many things, like, can I go? Can I do this? I'm so sorry, putting it away, you know. But then she was like, you don't have to ask us. Just go do your thing.
Yeah.
It was because I feel like he does go to them for everything, and there has to be some sort of seniority within a police station and with detectives, and I feel like he feels like he goes to them for things, and they are kind of his bosses in a way.
Mentors.
Right. So he would go back and forth with them, and this was the first time that he kind of went on his own and did his own thing and ended up doing it all. I mean, he did. He figured it out. He helped with everything. And then because the two were together and entangled, he was really able to do something on his own for the first time.
Yeah, he wasn't just finding like a GPS location on a cell phone.
Right. And it was all for a good cause.
Right.
It's all for a good cause.
And something he believed in, which I think is really great, because I feel like the entire series, even back to season 1, he's gotten so much stronger as a detective, but also as a person. Like, we've started to see his personality, and we've started to see his storyline kind of develop a lot more. He's not puking at sites anymore. So it's just been nice to kind of watch that.
I kind of want to work there. Is that weird?
Oh.
No.
Like, I want to hang out with them every day, every one of them. They don't fight. I mean, they kind of bicker a little bit and like have their personal stuff, but they treat each other with respect. There's like great community there and chemistry, and just, I love them. Oh.
But that's why we love the show, the family oriented.
But it makes me want to be a detective for no real reason other than I want to hang out with them. I don't
Not
like
to
murders.
fight crime. And
I don't like murders and dead people, but I do want to work there.
You just want to.
I would hang with Mama Rizzoli in the cafe, probably.
You could do that.
Totally would.
I mean,
or with Maura, like maybe not in the room with the autopsies, but like somewhere else.
well, Frost is single, so
Ooh, hey.
I mean,
He must need a girlfriend cast.
he might.
I'm down. Call me.
Just throwing that out
Maybe.
there.
Hey.
But no, I do. I think that Frost has been a great surprise that we didn't really know we had.
No,
If that
and
makes sense.
We've sort of like hammered home all the other characters that I think we saw a little bit of him with the nun lady. Mm-hmm. That was a weird relationship, but
he was always in trouble and reprimanded, and he was the kid, and he wasn't the grown up even in that situation.
And
Right.
he's also always dealing with a younger black person. If you ever noticed that. Today, the guy was black, and then the kid he was dealing with the nun was also. So they're always using him to, I guess, create some kind of community within the precinct. Like, you know,
they do bring those storylines to him
Yeah.
where he like they said, "Do you have a connection to this tonight?" You know, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, I was one of 3 black kids at a all-white prep school."
exactly.
And it's interesting because would somebody have cared if they didn't put themselves in that person's shoes? Like, what if he wasn't on the case and somebody else was?
Would they have cared
Right,
this much,
absolutely.
But it's also sad to say that maybe they wouldn't have.
Right.
So.
I think that's the point. That's the
Right.
Right,
To-
which is
to-
why they tie him in.
Yeah. To shine light on that situation.
Right, and that it happens. It's sad, but it happens that different sometimes equals not right in people's minds. But Frost did a great, and you know, Frost did a great job with being authentic, I think, to this part and I'm twisting again. Sorry.
I know, I'm
Frost
trying to
did
do it too.
he did a great job to being authentic to it, to being real and emotional, and I feel like he had his big boy pants on tonight, and we haven't gotten to see that, so I hope that we get to see more of that.
He shined.
He did. But the one thing that I was wondering every time Frost came on screen tonight was, where did that detective go? Because there was the detective, there was the drug raid. She got the job over Frankie. She was dating both Frankie and Frost. She's got the detective job in the precinct, and we have not seen her since.
That's a really
I
good
thought they
point.
were adding her to the cast, and that was the whole thing. They were going to add another female, because I remember we were
Right.
talking about that, saying like, "Oh boy, another female. That's going to be weird with Jane, and they're already weird, and what's it going to be like?" And then she's gone. But then again, so are so many other people.
I was going to say, we touched on that last week.
You brought up Rondo.
Actually, one of our
Rondo.
Twitter followers brought up Rondo. And
Which I
said-
miss him.
I know. I said that's Jen's favorite. I can't believe she didn't even catch that this week.
I know. I totally forgot.
Yeah, he's
Well, see, they
okay.
took him away, and I totally forgot.
Right.
So
And I feel like anytime you watch any of these cop dramas, if you go to a Law and Order SVU or you go to a castle, there's the main cast members, and then there's all the kind of story plots.
Right.
But I feel like this is the only show that brings consistent people back. So, like,
you're
Jane's,
invested.
you are Jane's boyfriend. Like, we want to know what happened. Like, all of a sudden
Right.
he's not around.
We
That
feel
was such a
related.
big storyline too, and freaking Hope Hello.
Yes.
I mean, huge. That was huge. But I did also, one of our AfterBuzz listeners did tweet me and say that Maura's mom will be back on the finale.
Great.
Oh.
So
Good.
I don't know where she got her info, but I believe it. So hopefully we will get some answers to that before the end.
Next year.
But speaking of our AfterBuzz listeners, we love when you guys tweet with us and email us and give us feedback on the show and what you think and if we miss anything. But we also love when you go to iTunes. A lot of you have downloaded our podcast and you listen to us every week, which is great. We would also love you to rate us on iTunes and comment and tell a friend if you really like us. But it helps us, and we get to gauge where we're at and what we need to bring to the table. And we do read all your comments and like to know what you think and what you think not only about the show, but about us, and if we can better ourselves or if you think that we missed something. And I love to hear the stuff that we missed, because a lot of times, because we watch it together now, we all kind of watch it the same way. So you guys sometimes catch stuff that we don't. So we love reading your comments on iTunes. So continue to go there and comment and rate us, and we will keep bringing you Rizzoli Isles. Because we got, what, 3 more episodes?
3 more.
Yep.
3.
3. And Mom comes back.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
I hope so. Speaking of moms, Mama Rizzoli.
Hey now, hey.
Yes. Mama Rizzoli was getting it in.
Now, we've talked about this. I
did.
know we've talked about this. I know we've brought up in the past that we thought Mom and the captain should date.
Because they were flirting, but
They were.
if
A
they
while
were-
ago.
If they were dating since that episode, which I don't know in TV time what that equals in terms of months or years by any means.
It feels like it was years ago.
Right. Then they've actually been seeing each other for a very long time. And to break up tonight over like handing health food, you know, it's kind of jarring. I would say that they're probably more upset if they've been dating that long.
But we found out why he might be risky in a relationship.
He's got baggage.
From Corsac.
Well, before we even got there, the fact that he was in his underwear and fell, and that Maura, I mean, obviously Maura and Jane are doing their trying to meditate thing, but Maura clearly knew what was going on because all she did was say he fell. And she knew who it was, what to do, and to go outside. So it was just, and we knew that Frankie had come up to Jane at the beginning of the episode and said something's going on with Mom. Something's changed.
She likes lip balm.
She's asking me if these pants make her look fat. And
She's
Jane,
gardening.
And at that point, Jane was okay with it. Like, she has a life. She's gonna be a mom. She's gonna until well, at first it was until the pants make me look fat. But then once she found out it was the captain, I mean,
I think they make a cute couple.
But would you want your mom dating your boss?
I don't know.
I think
That's
they
tough.
already have like a woven web there with, you know, the whole family essentially working there. At that point, you have to get over it because everyone's already entangled, I think.
That's a good point. I mean, it's a family, so it's like, we might as well.
It's not going to make or break Jane's job.
Oh, no, not at all.
No.
Right. So it's more just weird, but I would say get over it.
And I think because the mother works at the precinct, she works at the deli, I think it would make it more awkward for her to date within the police department.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the
Or
captain.
likely because she's there all the time.
And I mean, it's the captain if she's gonna date.
Yeah. Don't date the like lowest on
Date the captain.
Right. And I know that one of our other listeners had emailed or tweeted a while back and told us that in the books, I believe it was actually Corsac and the mom that dated. So it's interesting that they would go with the captain instead of Corsac. But I know that the captain, we don't really get to see a lot of him. So it was kind of nice to see a softer side of him tonight, even though I would have preferred his pants be on.
Yeah, maybe. But he was acting a little weird.
He acted weird throughout the
His
episode.
words were very slow and slurred and kind of just off.
And I
don't know
kept
what it
saying
was.
he was diabetic.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Did you say that?
I did. I said it like 3 times.
She had a hunch, but
First he fell, and it was because he hadn't eaten all day, and they were making out. And then he seemed pale when he walked into the police station, and then he was red-faced the next time, but he was still talking funny. And I was like, they're going to make him diabetic because it's a great story, because a lot of people don't get checked and don't know they're diabetic, and it's very dangerous. And so here I am thinking, like, they have a big story. He's diabetic. They didn't even touch it. He just fell.
Yeah, I don't know why. He was just acting weird.
He was off.
Yeah.
It was weird. And I'm
But
sad
maybe
because I
there's
want them.
something there.
I want them to be together. Maybe he's in love, and that's what's making him weird.
Maybe we'll find out in season 5 because the rate that they follow up on relationships, we won't know for a while.
Wait, actually, the captain is probably leaving the show now at this rate because we'll never see him again.
I know. It is. It's weird. But I thought it was really cute how they put them together. I wish that they hadn't made him break up with her
Yeah, so soon.
over a sandwich.
Yeah, that makes me sad because like we were just getting excited that she had somebody in her life, and they take it from us in 1 second.
Yeah.
At least
And
let
not
it
even,
develop.
not even like a conversation at home in the courtyard. It
Not
was
even
like
a kiss.
over, here's your lunch,
I made you extra potatoes.
and we can't do this anymore. It's not me, it's you.
Is that how like older folks do it? You just like cut that tie pretty quickly.
Hey, they don't have as much time to waste.
No,
And it takes me 2 years to break up with someone.
and she was upset, and I felt really bad, but I thought that it was kind of heartwarming that she went to Corsac.
Yeah.
I did too. But we had talked about that too while we were watching. That you said the thing about how Corsac in the books, it was her guy instead of the captain. But one of the episodes toward the beginning of this season, I remember she was flirting with him, and then his wife came into town,
Yes.
or his ex-wife. And we were like, oh, what's going on here? And then done.
Right.
And then they killed that story, clearly. Yeah. Done like the
every
rest of
other
them.
story.
Right. On to the next story.
And Corsac's had 2 wives come back now. It was the one that wanted the money for the yoga that he has the son with. And now last week it was the one that he was married to for
Yes. The
Oh,
AA.
yeah.
the AA girl.
I forgot about her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his third wife will be back.
Right. So we know he's been married 3 times. So we'll see his 3rd wife next season if we can
pretty much.
kind of relate to the show.
Or we might be the only ones that remember that, and the writers have already forgotten.
Oh, gosh.
They've clearly forgotten about Jane's love life,
They have.
unless they're just reading
And Maura's.
mine and after Ellen's comments.
Maura, all she got was creepy Dennis, and then he dies.
Yeah.
But he was also going to kill her, so.
I have to wonder if the writers do that on purpose and flirt with the them together, them not together scenario, only because they've also addressed it. Janet has addressed it. Both characters in their real life Twitter's account have addressed it. And I feel like they know that that is part of the show and has a bit of a following. So I wonder if they flirt, if that's why they continue to flirt with that line of what it is.
Possibly.
Because why wouldn't either one of them have a withstanding relationship on the show if
They don't have time. They're very busy solving crimes and having wine at the couch at the end of the episode.
I was like, they're very busy solving crimes and meditating with each other at 8 o'clock at night.
And jogging in place.
And jogging in place and sitting on the couch and talking.
I'm surprised no one in this story has a cat.
Well, they had Joe Friday, and we haven't seen Joe Friday.
Right.
Sorry. Yeah, the cat. Sorry. That is, yeah, I know more lesbians that have cats than dogs, so I guess I know where you were going with that. Sorry. It's
That went over my head, actually.
yeah, no, it's kind of a joke. They haven't pulled out a U-Haul yet either, so I guess that would be the second.
Wait, didn't they help someone move, though? Oh, no, the guys helped the detective move.
The guys, they haven't U-Hauled. Just mom has U-Hauled, but our After Ellen listeners will love that. But the other thing that Jane, speaking of Jane and Maura, their back and forth tonight was hysterical.
It was. It
Really
was.
funny. That's why I want to hang out with them.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, from the beginning to the end. And let me tell you, and I'm sure every single person can attest to this. I had to give up coffee. It was the hardest thing I've ever given up in my life.
I refuse.
Like the hardest.
I don't even think it works on me. I think I just love it so much that I will have it 5 times a day.
It's the
I haven't
caffeine.
gotten hooked yet.
No, I love the act of drinking the coffee, the smell of the coffee, the thought of what coffee does, possibly.
Stop drinking it.
No.
But I'm just telling you, it's you love all of that, but it's the caffeine, because without it, I was a very miserable person and very snarky and very no patience. So to see that kind of, I mean, it was interesting. The storyline of the wellness, I wasn't quite sure why they threw that in.
That was another time kill.
Yeah.
But all I could think of was that the captain was doing this for Mama Rizzoli because she wants everyone to be healthy. So that's why she was the head of it with Jane and with Maura. But Jane just was throwing it out the window from the get-go. Like, not having it. I want my coffee. And I feel like the crankiness of her was so real and so fun to watch them kind of go back and forth from beginning to the end.
I don't see a detective precinct or a police precinct without coffee and donuts.
No.
Like, you can't work without coffee as a police
Which, by
officer
the way,
or
they
a
were
detective.
talking about the donuts a lot. They were making reference. I didn't think about that until you just said that
The analogy,
stereotype right now, but like I didn't even put that together. They were hiding donuts in their dust drawers.
Oh,
The contraband donut.
yeah. Frost was eating them. Corsac was hiding them. Frost called Jane the wellness Nazi because he was going to rat her out.
Snitch.
The
wellness snitch,
You're
yes.
right. It was snitch, not Nazi.
Where did Nazi come from?
I don't know, but I fought back with that one.
You did.
Snitch.
You did. Jen the Jew. We're just full of them tonight. This is what happens when we film late. We get silly.
AfterBuzz activism.
Yes.
I had caffeine.
But even, it's so much fun to watch the two of them go back and forth and talk about, go ahead.
My favorite line, before I forget it, because I will, is when Jane said to, Maura and Corsac were going back and forth about helping each other and solving all the crimes and yada yada, and they were tooting each other's horns so much. It was like, all right, we need to take a nap. You're still talking. But she's like, all right, we'll throw you a parade later.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
It was great.
Yeah.
I love that line.
No, and I know you're going to use it in real life very
Absolutely.
soon.
You're
very
so
soon.
right.
I steal lines
You're
from
waiting to
Nashville
use it
all the
already.
time, too.
You are.
So it was brilliant tomorrow.
It's hilarious.
All day long.
It was. They do. I mean, they have great writers and they have great actors, and watching the relationships develop. And I'm so glad that we have Jane and Maura back, and there's none of the meanness anymore.
Yeah.
I hope it stays that way. I can't deal with like drama between them.
No, but I feel like the season finale, there's going to be some sort of a cliffhanger. One of them's going to go missing. Something's going to happen to disrupt the family. And then we're going to have to wait months and months until we find out what it is, because that's the way these work.
Right.
Avi. Yeah.
I mean,
They'll bring a bunch of characters back and then take them all away.
right.
Right.
Jane, Maura didn't have any huge Wikipedia moments tonight. I was surprised.
No, but she was very helpful to Frost tonight, which was kind of cool to see them work together instead of like Jane and Maura or Jane and Frost.
Yeah, we don't get to see that.
Her Wikipedia moments tonight were body language and those trees with the sap.
Right.
She went very deep in explaining both of those things.
She knew a lot. She just knows about so many things that
Yeah.
I don't even know how one brain can withstand all of that knowledge. But I can't even remember vocabulary words. But it was really interesting to see her work with him and like be sort of his like helper and guide.
And she was like the advisor tonight.
Right.
And the body language thing was, it blows my mind how
Yeah.
people can look at someone and know by the way that they arch their eyebrow if they're lying or
Right.
if they're hiding something.
Or if it's fear or anguish or sadness.
It's crazy. I mean,
Or
the
innocence.
right? The hands with the pocketbook. Like I understand that. We all kind of fidget when we're doing something we're not supposed to. I fidget all the time, but it was crazy that she knew he's looking this way. His eyelids droop. Like it was amazing that just watching somebody talk can tell you more than
Right.
what their words are saying.
Exactly. It's pretty amazing, but I mean, that's how they do that in real life. They have specialists and experts on body language, and they take them into the courtrooms and read people all day who go on the stand. So.
But do they usually have one person who does every single thing? Because she sort of handles
does
everything.
everything.
She's a one-stop shop.
That's true.
She's Susie Homemaker. Like her home is beautiful. She's constantly cooking. She's throwing dinner parties. She's finding out how people died. She's doing arts and crafts. She's meditating. Like there's really nothing she shops. There's nothing she doesn't do.
Her Birkin
She doesn't
bag
date.
today.
She doesn't date that Birkin bag. I mean, medical examiners get Birkin bags.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
remember that.
I would like to actually research what a salary is for a medical examiner because I'm fascinated by that.
You said they might make more.
Well, because they have like a PhD or whatever.
They're a doctor.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, they're doctors, but I wonder if, I don't know what the difference, we'll have to look that up for next week to see if there's a difference between like a doctor and a medical
I mean,
examiner.
she has a house with a guest house and Jane lives in an apartment.
Right. Well, police, unfortunately, they risk their lives for us every day, and they don't make nearly enough money. So yeah, Jane isn't carrying a Birkin bag.
No,
But
I don't know that she would want
Yeah, I
one
don't
anyway.
think she even knows what that is.
no, she's not a Birkin bag kind of girl. Is there?
She looked good in one.
I mean, who doesn't look good in a Birkin bag? My
she's-
dog could carry a Birkin bag and it would look good. Sorry, for those of you who don't know, a Birkin bag is what Maura was carrying tonight. It is by, I butcher the name, but Hermes. And they start at like $5,000. It's ridiculous. The Kardashians have them in every color.
They're beautiful.
They
Make fake ones in that like plastic jelly material too.
They do. And if you buy one, I will no longer be your friend.
Do
Just
I
throwing
do
that
jelly?
out there.
I don't think I do jelly there.
All right, I looked up the average salary,
I love
and it
Maura's
says about 75,000 to 200,000 a year based on experience.
Medical examiner.
Yeah, a medical examiner. Yes.
All right.
That's pretty good.
That's good to know because if she's on the higher end of that, she's making $200 a year.
Right. Which I'm sure she's got a couple of PhDs, and she's in Boston, so I'm sure that where you live may have a effect on that. So yeah,
Plus, it's only her and Pike, except now they've killed off Pike somewhere. So
Where is
really just
Pike?
her?
we haven't seen Pike.
No,
It's been a while.
He's out.
Anything else that you ladies would like to cover before we go to news and gossip? Anything that spoke out to you guys that I didn't bring up?
Nah.
No,
that we missed
I
last
think I
week?
really wanted to see, like Jen, the mom and what was his name? Quentin?
Sean.
No.
No, Sean's the.
Oh, Quentin
Yeah.
Morris.
Yes, I wanted to see them come back.
Or-
That was
yeah.
my end note.
I would have loved to see the mom thank Frost or something.
Well,
Because she was
you
so
did.
upset.
She hugged her. She hugged him. So
For
that's
trying.
what I mean. I feel like the last 5 minutes of this episode were so rushed. Like you missed that not only was the sticky stuff sap, but it had something in it that was only from some sort of mountain,
Yeah, I
which
heard
is how
that
they found out
part,
there was
but-
the things. And then they show them at the bar, and Jane, Maura, and Corsac are sitting at the bar, and in the background, the camera goes to Frost hugging the mother first, and then coming to the bar
yeah, I didn't
to
miss
have
that.
the drinks.
No. I
didn't see that.
You got to see the hug, and you got to see the look at that. They got to do this.
you only got to see it if you saw it.
Yes.
Did you blink? You might have blinked.
I must have blacked out. I don't know what happened.
I did not see that. I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We can go rewind it if you want.
Krisily,
But it did. He totally, she hugged him, and they all looked at the mom and said, "Isn't that great? When will he get out?" And that's when Jane said, "By the end of the week."
okay. By the end of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Wow.
And then they all ordered beers, and she
I saw
ordered
that part.
Okay.
And wine, and she listened to
Just
Maura.
missed that minute. It's okay.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But it happened. I feel like the tail end of the episode happened so fast. It was a little rushed, and a lot got lost.
It went so fast
Clearly.
and it slowed down, and I wasn't ready for either of those things.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'll write to Janet and tell her.
Thank you.
Maybe she'll change it.
I appreciate your
Are we ready for some news and gossip? Do we have any?
Yes, we do.
Woohoo!
First and foremost, Sasha Alexander Maura was a special guest on Conan O'Brien on Monday night. You get to know her a little better, and she tells us about her and Angie's boob slapping on set, and that the boob slapping makes the guys on set a little uncomfortable.
And so you're gonna tell me that they're not pretending? Okay, I'm just gonna be quiet. Go ahead, keep going.
let me
Boob
keep
slapping.
going.
You're fueling our fire.
There's boob slapping, and she goes deep into their real life friendship. So you guys want to watch to see that. And she talks about, of course, Conan O'Brien brings up, well, what about the allegations between you, Jane, and the show? Are you guys lesbians? Are you guys not? So she talks about that. So if you guys check that out, you will find out. And
See, I'm not the only one though. There's a whole rest of the world that thinks the same thing. I'm not crazy. You girls just think I am.
Conan O'Brien seemed to really like the idea.
I mean, it's a great idea. They're both very beautiful, powerful women that have great jobs, that have a great relationship. So I would love to see that happen, but we may not.
She said an interesting point. She said it's probably because they're so different that they seem like they would attract, because they're total opposites. So check it out. Okay, and Angie Harmon reached 150,000 angels this week.
She gets real excited about that.
She was elated, but then she realized that Kim Kardashian has 16.7 million followers, but she was still excited.
That's a lot of people. That's like a country in some places.
Yes. Kim K is doing it. But Angie is also doing it. She's very happy about her followers and her supporters. And she got a little bit more after the 150,000.
Yeah.
So she's keep it going. You guys follow her if you don't follow her already.
She's pretty good about like tweeting and retweeting and all that.
Yeah.
And she's super fun, and she puts pictures of the kids and the house, and if they go places. She's a great person to follow, and I don't follow any of the Kardashians, but I do follow both Sasha and Angie, and I love how much they're interactive with their fans.
Yes.
And I feel like I'd rather have 150,000 followers that interact with me than 12.5 million followers that I don't
They're just
care.
looking at my Birkin bag.
Right.
Pretty much.
Or my bikini shots.
Right.
That too. And UK TV's Alibi channel has just announced that they will be showing season 3 and future seasons of Rizzoli Isles. So Britain and European areas will be able to watch Rizzoli Isles.
Oh, that's awesome. So they're getting picked up in more markets.
Yes.
So that's great for the show.
And it's
great
one of the biggest crime drama channels that way. So
Overseas.
Yeah, overseas. So
It's pretty awesome.
That's pretty exciting.
pretty cool.
Anytime you get more viewers and more numbers, you get more money and more,
More seasons.
Yeah, you get more money, you get better everything. So it's great to get picked up more.
Right. The channel was excited because the money they're going to make because they saw how many fans that Rizzoli Isles had in their home. So really excited about that. And then Lorraine Bracco, in support of the Adrienne Shelley Foundation, is auctioning off a lunch for 2 with her in LA or New York. So if you're interested, go to ausxip.com/Rizzoli Isles to bid, and you might win a lunch date with Lorraine.
Do we know what the foundation is? Like what it's for?
Yes, Adrienne Shelley Foundation. I do not know what the cause is for.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
Sorry about that.
No. I was just wondering if we knew.
But something good.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and
Foundations usually are.
Yeah,
unless they're
and
not.
I feel like a lot of the cast do a lot of great stuff for charities, and I just always like to know what they're involved in, because sometimes they do the little PSAs at the end of the episode if
Yeah.
something
Oh, yes.
big was on the episode, which is why I thought the diabetes, but fail.
Maybe another episode. You never know.
Yeah, he was acting weird.
Telling you,
Captain
there was a
was acting
slur. I
funny.
saw it.
I saw it too.
So maybe he'll retire. Oh, hold on. I'll save it for predictions.
I was gonna
Yes,
say,
save it
we're
for predictions.
Getting ahead of ourselves. Last piece of news: season 4 filming starts in the end of January.
Yay.
So there will be a season 4. If you didn't know that already.
Fantastic. Now, how do we get on set?
Ooh. How do we get on the show?
How do we get them here? Gotta keep sending those emails. Keep sending those emails. Any more news and gossip?
No, that is it.
All right. I guess we will go to predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz
I swear to God, I just
TV.
felt an earthquake.
No. What?
I swear.
Wait, really?
It's you shaking
my
your chair.
Marissa, did you just feel an earthquake?
No.
Okay, it's just me. I shake naturally, I guess.
My goodness.
Predictions.
With the music though in the background, that was a little creepy.
yeah, sorry, guys.
Okay.
Sorry. Jen, you want to go first?
Yep. So my prediction is Captain may discover he's got some health issue, and then he will have to retire, and maybe like Corsac or someone will become captain because he said that they were rookies together, so they must be around the same year, I guess. And then he can finally date Mama Rizzoli.
Wow. That's a big
You
prediction.
took my prediction at the end.
That they're gonna date?
Yeah.
Oh
Oh wait, you're saying Captain or Corsac?
no, Captain.
Okay, Captain. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Captain and Mama are coming back together.
You think so?
Yes.
Do you have any other predictions?
No.
I think that someone's going to die. They're going to find the bad guy. And Maura and Jane are going to tell jokes the entire episode.
And drink wine at the end.
And drink wine at the end. They're all going to come together on some sort of meeting ground, like a bar or a couch. It's so hard to do predictions on this show.
Right, because they take all the characters away.
They take them away from us.
I predict maybe one will come back next time.
I hope so. Well, we hope we know that Maura's mom's coming back by the season
Yes.
finale.
Where are Tony,
Maura's mom.
Lydia, and TJ?
Oh, they'll be back.
Yeah, that
They'll
was
be back.
only last week.
That was-
So that's at
They're
least
already
2
gone.
weeks
Be
between.
patient.
I mean, I don't even care
Jen?
if they're back, to be quite honest. I'm just saying.
Did you notice the hand is no longer on the desk?
No, I never noticed
I
the
would
hand
hope
ever.
the hand wasn't on the desk anymore.
We need to get you some glasses for next
I
week.
have contacts.
And we're going to make sure that you're paying attention.
Maybe that's it.
and no coffee.
And no coffee.
Oh, I had Diet Coke.
All right.
All right.
Where can they find you, ladies?
Okay, I'll go first. At Roqui_T.
And you can find me at Jen the Jew.
And you can find me on Twitter at Krisily. Thank you guys for being, I keep twisting, I'm sorry. Thank you guys for listening on another week of Rizzoli Isles here at AfterBuzz, and we will see y'all next week.
From Bing.com,
I said y'all.
Executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
But see you later.
Oh my God.
Herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.